Captain Peter Cutsie, the last part of the engine bleed off, takeoff and landing. We're currently on the ILS runway 29 in Kabul, and we're in our descent. We briefed on what we're going to do. We can't start doing it till we are by stitch. So we're now dynamic. This is stitch here. We must wait until we're below 10,000 before we can configure with engine bleeds off. We're on the glide path, glide slope arm, missed approach altitude set. We're at landing flap. The landing checklist is complete. And remember, stitch is 10,200. We're out of 11,300. We're going to configure using a dual autopilot approach. Command selected, and we can expect when we're below 1,500 feet that we will actually go to a different setting on the ASA, either command or land 3, depending on the logic of the aircraft. Reason being is we want to have the autopilots engaged, do an autopilot go around for this demonstration, because I'm by myself here in the airplane. All right. So we've discussed what we're going to do. We'll start configuring as we descend below 10,000 feet. The APU is running. We started it while we were in the holding pattern. So we're just coming up to 10,000 feet. Let's just freeze the sim. We are now just going below 10,000 feet. We're focusing on the panel. We want to go with the C setup, right pack, auto, isolation valve, close, left pack, auto, number 1 engine bleed off, APU bleed on, and number 2 engine bleed off. We're dynamic. We're single channel. As I mentioned, when we go below 1,500 feet, we should go to dual channel. And as you can remember from my Go Around series, 4 videos done on Go Around, you'll understand why I've selected dual channel, because we want the autopilots to stay engaged on the go around, because I'm trying to demonstrate this and I'm by myself on the flight deck. All right. The vertical situation display concurs with the ILS, and there is the runway, and it's on the terrain, which means that we've got the correct altimeter setting, as you've probably viewed in my VSD briefings, vertical situation display briefings. Here's our flight path vector on a fixed 3-degree glide path, and our pitch, and the difference between both is our angle of attack, and that's our angle of attack at 1.4. So this is a high terrain airport. There's the radio altimeter is alive. We're still looking good on the nav display, vertical display profile. It concurs with the VSD and also concurs with where we should be under these temperature conditions at the airport. Engine anti-ice is on, wing anti-ice is off. For this demonstration, we'll go to minimums and execute a missed approach. And there, we're coming up to 1,500 feet above the ground. Very shortly now, we should notice a change in the ASA. Land 3, fine. Now we are configured for a dual channel missed approach or a go-around. Configuration still looks good on the VSD, also on the nav display, also on the raw data on the ILS. Our minimum is 6193. We talked about the gradient and for the missed approach and the importance that we understand that. We did that in the first two videos. Approaching minimums. Minimums go around. Toga, and nav go around, and Toga on the FMA. And we have a 2000 rate to descent, rate of climb, I should say. And we are pitched up and configured, so flaps 15. Positive rate, gear up. And we are LNAV. Next flap setting. Flaps 1. If you notice, the airspeed bug is automatically moving up to the program that we saw in the go-around series. And the airspeed bug is programmed from the flap setting. So as we change flap setting, the program speed varies, of course, in accordance with the logic. We're going to flight level 180. We're still in LNAV, and we are in go around and Toga still. We don't want a high airspeed for this turn because of the terrain, but we're still well clear of the terrain now, as you can see. And the speed is commanded to the forecasted commanded speed in the logic that we discussed before. We're out of 10,000 feet now. Let's pause. And we're still dynamic. And now we'll do the reverse C and reinstating. The airplane's under control, flaps up, lights out. So the reverse C, engine bleed 1 on, APU bleed off. That's engine 2 bleed on, APU bleed off, engine 1 bleed on, left pack auto, isolation valve auto, right pack auto. And the pressurization is normal, and it has settled down okay. So we're continuing to flight level 180 for the holding, and we'll go up and configure to the flaps up speed. Out of 14,000, transition, standard. 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 Climbing to flight level 180, and we'll soon go into the holding pattern. 170 for 180. MCP speed out to the choir. VNAV, VNAV out. And we'll come back to the best holding speed, which is very close to the flaps up speed. We've set it. And we'll get a chance, we'll actually select the cruise altitude here of flight level 180 again, and execute it, of course, after we check with the pilot monitoring. And in VNAV, we should actually be able to go to VNAV path. So level change for a moment, and VNAV and VNAV out. We should be getting a VNAV path. In any case, we're fine coming up to the holding pattern. We'll get this squared away later. And that is the bleeds off takeoff and landing series is complete. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.